We need resilience to be able to overcome any of the many, many obstacles that we have in this world. If I just have you for a second, let me tell you what resilience is in a nutshell. And it is the fortitude or the strength to be able to deal with really difficult life experiences and to not allow those things to set us back functionally. So we can continue to maintain our relationships and maintain our careers and maintain our love and meaning in the world, even though we go through or have gone through incredibly difficult, traumatic life experiences. The very first misconception I want to dispel is that it's not important. People get an undergrad in psychology, or they get a degree in therapy even, or people go and study to become a life coach and don't understand the basic concepts of what resilience is and how it is essential in our life. And then, of course, how to develop it. We need to understand how to develop it, or else understanding how important is useless. Modern psychology has researched this actually really well. Like, it is very well understood in the positive psychology movement, and humanistic and existential psychologists have researched this for years. And the interventions, I call them deeds, the things that we can, the therapeutic assignments that we can give people are profound, and they work. One of the major misconceptions of resilience is that you cannot develop it, that you're born with a certain amount of zeal or toughness, and that you don't develop it throughout your life. And that is the biggest misconception I have found. People say, oh, I couldn't get through that, or this is too stressful for me, as if we aren't growing the whole time. And then we look back in our life and we say, okay, well, I overcame that thing, but that was because I'm tougher now than I was. This is what it's like to build resilience. Everyone has built resilience to some degree in our lives, because if we don't, we'll still be that childish and infantile person that we were the first few years of our life. The next misconception is that to develop resilience, that you have to go through tons of really hard, difficult traumas and life experience and you get tougher. It's not the only way to develop resilience. We can develop resilience by going through all these hardships and traumas, and certainly when we survive those things, you know that phrase whatever doesn't kill you makes you stronger? That's true. It is actually correct. But here's the thing. You don't need to go through life's traumas to get the benefit of growing resilient. And in fact, it's actually foolish to wait for life's traumas to come to make us tougher. If we wait, then we won't be prepared when really negative and difficult and hard life experiences come to us, and they will. We all are going to lose somebody close to us. We are all going to go through hardships in our careers or in our relationships or with our children as we raise them. It is difficult. Life is difficult. And we need resilience to deal with life stressors. People think that trauma and daily life stressors and anxiety affects our life in ways that cannot be addressed or are not repairable. And I've got to say that the research is in on this, and that we can address life stressors and trauma, especially when they're in the past, but also we can prepare for them when they're in the future. We can prepare for things that have not yet happened. And we don't have to torture ourselves to do that. You don't have to harm yourself to prepare for more harmful life experiences. That would be silly. What we need to do is continually find things that strengthen us, that things that are memories that are positive of the past, or learn how to shift our focus and our beliefs onto things that build our strengths and our gratitude and our positive life experiences, so that we can continue to overcome life's traumas. Frequently, people focus on what they need to change in their life, and it's actually a big mistake, because it's usually not something we need to change about ourselves. It's usually something we need to reveal about ourselves, that we are suppressing, or something that we are unable to refine, that we just ignored, something about ourselves that we need to come forth. What we need to do is reveal our strengths and reveal who we really are inside, and not focus on the perceptions we have about who we have become and what we need to change. We have to reveal our strengths that we often suppress, strengths that we often overlook, or strengths that we disregard because we see these huge weaknesses in our life, or we see our shortcomings, or we see the things that we wish we would have done that we didn't. And instead of focusing on what we should have done, or what we could be changing, or what we didn't do, we need to focus on the strengths inside of us that we very often suppress. Cognitive behavioral therapists might call this addressing our thinking errors, or psychoanalysts, or specifically Jungian psychologists, might call this shadow integration. And there's a lot of different names out there for this, but the concept is, and in the way that I teach it through these psychoeducational courses, is that we need to reveal who we are, not change who we are. And the last misconception I want to address about resilience is that people think, okay, well, I can build resilience now for the future, and that's great. But what if I've already been harmed so deeply it holds me back? Like what if things have already hurt me in the past? And maybe I'm ready, like I could handle those same traumas now, but I wasn't ready for them at the time that they happened. And that's a really legitimate question. That's a good point. Like, what if it's already too late? The good news is that building resilience now will actually help you overcome past life events from this life that were too difficult and that we couldn't overcome. Can I tell you about the campaign I've built? And incidentally, I call it a campaign and not a course because it's so much more. It has evaluations and tests inside of it that you can take that allow you to track your progress and see your growth. Full evaluations with reports that are customized for you. In this, I have like these time release therapeutic deeds that are going to help you know what is helpful to build your resilience. And they come out in a timely manner so that if you do them a few weeks apart and months apart, you continue to practice the skills that you learn that build resilience. And there is no better way to retain your gains than by practicing them over time. Okay, so what are Chalk Talks? Chalk Talks are my way of doing lectures, if you will, or just online videos. And they are clips, and a whole bunch of Chalk Talks will compose one campaign. After I started doing all of these videos on chalkboards, it got to be a bigger and bigger thing. It's just my style of presenting, in which I discovered that I like using chalkboards and I can explain things well. And so my studio developed here and I got bigger and bigger, and it's just been great. And in fact, I looked up the term Chalk Talk and I learned that they used to be a thing. Like back in the 18 and 1900s, they used to do these Chalk Talks of like these artists that were kind of like motivational speakers, and they would do these beautiful artistic motivational informational lectures. I want to revive it, to bring to you guys these Chalk Talks in a fun and artistic manner that is engageable online. The whole point of this campaign is to help you build resilience so that we are strong enough for future trials. But if all it did was give you psychoeducation and all it did was help you understand resilient people better, I hope that that is valuable enough. I am actually really proud of the pricing that I have, because a lot of courses cost, well, much more money. And you know that there are tons of programs out there that cost a lot of money. But I have packed all these valuable resources and courses into this campaign. Even if you don't feel like it increases your resilience, if all it does is help you become more aware of what resilience does for others, it will work inside of you in the long run. It will help you, it will benefit you. The psychoeducation alone is powerful. And if all this did was plant seeds inside of you that you can build resilience, and even if it's not time for you now, I hope that it is worth that to you. I really believe it is, because those seeds are going to work in you on a day in which you need it. Even if you don't think it can, if all you do is want for it to be true, your brain will begin to look for resourceful methods like this one and build that opportunity around you and in your life. You are making decisions right now just by watching this video or clicking on this link today that is building resilience inside of you, and I'll tell you how. the things that we do and the way that we behave, even on our cell phones or in our relationships and interactions, are all coming about because of our internal beliefs and because of our internal locus of control. That is to say that to the degree that we feel we can do something and we want that thing to happen, we begin to act consistent in a way that might bring about those things. That's why you're watching this video now, actually. If you're watching this video right now, some part of you believes that they can be ready for this change, or some part of you wants that to happen. People don't just click on random things. We look for things that our brain subconsciously is seeking out. And we click on things that are sometimes just seem like they're interesting, but as we participate in them, we find nourishment to like a part of ourselves we suppress, a part of ourselves that we may not have been in touch in. And that's this part that my Chalk Talks I hope to speak to. I hope to speak to a part of you, well, that was asleep or that needs to be revealed. I believe every person is a guru of something, a guru of being you, a guru of overcoming your own obstacles, a guru of being you, who will like whatever trials you are going through. I believe deeply that everybody is a guru of growing old in their own body. And the thing is, we're enough alike that whatever wisdom you have, you can share with others. And whatever wisdom I have, I might be able to help others with too. That's what this course is all about. It's because I learned enough. I feel like I can really be helping more people. And I got to this point where I wasn't helping enough and fast enough. And I said, I need to make something that reaches a broader audience and a bigger audience. So I built Mental Gurus and RevealMyself.com for that reason. I wanted to help more people with what I figured out. My message might not be for everyone, but it can be for anyone. I hope it's for you. And so join us, come here today and continue to grow in whatever way you feel that you need to reveal yourself in. Thanks so much.